Every year for Memorial Day, the nation pauses to remember and reflect on our over 1.4 million service members who have made the ultimate sacrifice through the history of our great nation. It is because of them and the millions of others who have worn the uniform that guarantees the freedoms that we enjoy. It is vital that we never forget them. In all of the years that I have been involved with the ceremony, we have done just that. And as a typical small American town, we've done an outstanding job. Today, however, I want to pay tribute to another group of people. It's a group that is often forgotten. They seem to slip through our cracks. I'm referring to the Gold Star families. It is an honor that no one wants. A Gold Star family is the immediate family member or members of a fallen service member who was killed or died while serving in the armed forces from causes other than dishonorable. General John F. Kelly, a retired Marine Corps general, spoke of our fallen service members, that they are the best 1% this country produces. Most of you as Americans do not know them. Many of you don't know anyone who knows any of them. General Kelly is a Gold Star father. He lost his son, a Marine Corps First Lieutenant in Afghanistan, while he was a serving general. Many of you here today probably have not heard of Gold Star families, and I want to introduce you to one family. Shortly after midnight on December 2nd, 2012, the United States Coast Guard cutter Halibut sent a boarding team in their small boat to interdict a suspicious boat in the area of Santa Cruz Island, California, believed to be smuggling drugs. The boarding team made contact with a boat, which then accelerated towards them, subsequently striking the boarding team's boat. The leader of the boarding team, Senior Chief Terrell Horn, pushed a crew member out of the way of the smuggling boat. He and his shipmate were knocked into the water. Both are recovered from the water, and Senior Chief Horn succumbed to his head injuries. As a United States Coast Guard non-commissioned officer involved in law enforcement missions, Senior Chief Horn's death was considered both a military and law enforcement death. Because of that, I rode in his memory during the 2013 Police Unity Tour bicycle ride from New Jersey to Washington, D.C. to honor our fallen heroes. Some years later, I was fortunate to have met Terrell's wife and children. So what happens to a Gold Star family? As you might suspect, their life is immediately turned upside down. At the time of his death, his wife Rachel was pregnant with their second child, and they were parents to their 2-year-old son Miller. When Rachel received notification of her husband's death, she was of course home alone, since he was underway for several days. She did not have family close by, but had neighbors who would look after her while Terrell was underway with his cutter. Fortunately, her neighbors and then family were instrumental in helping her through those dark days. As with any family who loses a loved one, it is the time after the funeral or memorial service that is the hardest. This is when everyone around you who is offering support leaves and goes about their lives. For a military family, it is much harder. Your identity is with the military. Families are an integral part of the military unit's social fabric. Once the family loses their military member, their link to that military life is gone. They lose a large part of their identity. With that also comes survivor's guilt. Fellow shipmates or unit members often feel guilty that they survived, and they do not know how to handle that around the Gold Star families. The Gold Star family members also sometimes feel that they cannot be around the survivors because the survivors are thinking of the guilt being around the family. We can never repay or make up for the loss our Gold Star family members have endured. What we can and must do is never forget their sacrifice. Our fallen service members give up their lives, but it's their families that go on without them. December 2nd of last year was the 10th anniversary of Senior Chief Horn's death. The Coast Guard honored his service, sacrifice, and legacy, as well as his wife Rachel and sons Cade, Biller, and Wells, with a moving memorial service in Charlotte, South Carolina. I was honored to be at that service, Charleston, South Carolina. I was honored to be at that service, and there is no doubt to the Horn family, they know their terrible loss has not been forgotten. To ensure the story of Senior Chief Horn's heroism is never forgotten, A fast response cutter was named in his honor in 2019. The cutter Terrell Horn is homeported in Long Beach, Los Angeles Coast Guard base, where Terrell was stationed at the time of his death. We must never forget the sacrifices our service members have made while dying in the service of our country. And just as important, we must always keep in our hearts their surviving families. Before I conclude, I want to introduce you to a very special person who is here today. Wendy Carpenter from Basking Ridge and her husband Dirk. Wendy is Terrell's aunt. She will be laying a wreath at our monuments in a few minutes along with their other dignitaries. Wendy, thank you for being here today, and please know that you and your entire family are in our thoughts and prayers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today and being a part of our remembrance. For our family, for our fallen service members and their families, I wish you a safe and healthy summer.